My audience, I would want to greet you in the name of the Lord. My name is Esther Wambia. I'm born again. I love Christ. I thank God for this time that He has given me to share with you. As always, I am born again. I remember the last time we shared about the unique responsibilities of a husband, and we touched on a few things, and one of the things we touched on is that husbands have to love their wives unconditionally. And under that, we saw that, the husband has to love the wife sacrificially, unconditionally, with her weaknesses and all that. And now I want us to continue just a few reasons why their husbands should love their wives, or the responsibility God has given to them to love their wife, to do in their marriages. I want us to look at one or two things and see what else God demands for a husband to do. And another thing is that a husband is supposed to nurture the wife. Husbands are supposed to nurture their wives, and nurturing means to take care of, or to help even grow, to help somebody grow, or to cultivate something in somebody's life. So men are supposed to cultivate the potential the women have. They're supposed to help their wives grow in their areas of maybe, let me say, probably where they have been gifted, or be able to get out that potential that is hidden in their lives. When we get married, many times we actually don't understand each other. Men and women don't understand each other. Okay, I may not understand my husband. He may not understand me. We look at each other from the, probably the face value. You look at somebody from the way he's dressed, probably, and the way he presents himself in the public and all that. But the inner potential normally is hidden from us. And when we get married, we realize that you need that environment which will enable you to be able to release your potential, which will make you to grow. So men are supposed to help their wives to release their potential, be able to grow. They're supposed to feel that somebody is working out on what is hidden in me. So you are supposed to cultivate and develop that woman. So a woman is supposed to find, the man being the head, he's supposed to help this person. It's like, for example, if you work in a company and there is the manager, and the manager has to try and take these workers to 14 building and that kind of thing, that would enable these people to be free, so that you can be able to get out yourself and be able to be of benefit to the company. So this woman is just like that. There is so much in this woman that if she's not given the right environment, she will not be able to release herself and come out and be beneficial to this man. And so it is the duty of this man to be able to give, that woman that environment, and to help her be able to release herself and to build herself up. So men are supposed to nurture their wives. You're supposed to, nurturing is more than just helping somebody. It's just more than just, nurturing is just taking the special care. That special care, on something that is tender. A woman is a very tender, is a very tender human being. Is supposed to be taken good care of. And the best person to do so is a husband. And that is the unique responsibility that has been given to a man for his wife. So I would say, if a woman is nurtured, the probability that she will be able to bear more fruits in that family, in that house, in that home, in that man's life is very high. So women are supposed to give themselves to the man. When you come to this man, you give yourself up to this man. And that is why when somebody just falls in your hands, you're supposed to mold and make this person a better thing, Just like when we come to Christ, actually we come with all our weaknesses, with all our sometimes we look like we cannot even make it in salvation. When somebody looks at you, you have been, so much in the muddy, you have been in murky waters, you don't look like you can be shaped good enough to become a child of God. But what does Jesus do? He shapes shapes us. He comes into he molds us. He gives us that love, that closeness. His word nourishes us. So the words that comes out of our husband, they should be able to nourish us and make us to truly be able to give ourselves totally to them, so that they can make us what we are supposed to be. Give her, by doing that, you're supposed to give her affection, warmth, and warmth. You're supposed to be very warm to your wife. The wife is supposed to feel, when I'm with my husband, I'm feeling warm, I'm feeling, in the right place. I'm feeling, the affection of my husband. You're supposed to feel that affection, that somebody really cares, somebody really loves you. So that even when you go to work, probably maybe you're employed somewhere, and sometimes, in the places where we work, sometimes the environment is not very good. You are always looking forward to a time of being at home, because there is somebody who will help you to come back to yourself and be able to work very hard. So they are supposed to nurture. Men are supposed to nurture their wives. Women need to be told they are loved and they are needed. You're supposed to tell your wife that you love her and you need her. Some of these things are done verbally. You're supposed to just talk. There are some men who will never tell their wives they love them. They'll never even tell their wives, how unique they are and how different they are from other women. They would want they just keep quiet. And it's very important for us human beings, and especially men, to tell their wives how much they mean to them. It's very important to speak it out. Let them know that they are needed. Let this woman know that her presence in that home, or her presence in that whichever place, is very, very important. Sometimes there are women who stay away from home because when they come back home, they don't find anybody to tell them anything. Whether you do it right or don't do it right, it is the same. The man is always making noise. The man is always, complaining. The man is always, until this woman feels, okay, whichever thing I give, it does not mean anything to this man. So it's very important for a man to nurture the wife. And by so doing, the woman becomes very, very, productive, and is able to even bear more fruits. Every woman has a hidden potential that needs to be unearthed, and this is the work of the man to do it. What a woman becomes totally depends on the man. So sometimes we blame women for things that they become, but it depends on the man and how this man is shaping this woman up. Considering that this man is the head of the home, considering that the man has all the authority. So you can imagine, anybody that has the authority has the power to change to the better or to the worse. So it is the duty of the man to be able to shape this woman, to make sure that this woman gives the best out of her. That is the reason why when a woman is given the best environment, you find that like that woman in the Proverbs 31, you look at the environment this woman is given, the environment given to this woman is something that made her to be everything in everything. When you read the book of, you read that Proverbs 31, you find that this woman is able to be recognized by her children, that she's actually a very, she's a good woman. She's a good mother. She supersedes other women, and also the man recognizes this woman. That this woman, of course, there are other good women, but her, she supersedes them. She's the best. And because of that, this woman is able to release all the potential that she has. And that is the reason why this man in Psalms 31 is able to say that he is also recognized in the community. Because of the nurturing of this woman. This woman makes this man to be recognized and to be praised outside there. The man is the one who, it comes back to him, actually is the one who eats the fruits. And because of that, the woman nurturing is very important in a man's life. So husbands are also to live with their wives according to the knowledge. Women have so much that they go through. Actually, if you look at a woman has so much that she goes through. A woman has a lot of hormonal imbalances. Actually, in the body of a woman, there is so much that that happens, that sometimes you don't know what to predict. You don't know. And that's why when the Bible says that a man has to live with a wife according to the knowledge, you're supposed to understand this woman and how she functions, so that when you are ministering to this woman, you know how to handle her at all seasons. Because you find that this woman, probably when you got married to her, she was very excited and all that. All of a sudden, this woman has become pregnant and the mood swings are just all over the place. You don't understand this woman anymore. You are like, You don't know that whether the woman you married and the one you're living with is in the house are two different people. But you see, you need to understand. Sometimes it's even good to read books about women so that men can understand the kind of people they are dealing with. When you don't understand the person you are dealing with, the probability of mistreating those women and feeling that this woman is not the one you are looking for is very high. So it's very important, and that's why the Bible records that it's good for a man to live with a woman according to the knowledge. Get to know why this woman has a lot of mood swings, why this woman sometimes she doesn't want to talk, why this woman sometimes she just wants to keep off, she wants to stay away, she does not want to, sometimes you really need to understand. And many times women don't want to share so much about themselves, they just want to keep quiet. And that is the reason why sometimes a man would say, my wife does not tell me what her problem is. But you see, these are things women found themselves in. It's not something that you just acquired. You are just born a woman, you found yourself being a woman, and the things that are happening to you, sometimes you don't know how to explain to anyone. And so it's very important even for a man to try to study, try to get knowledge, try to understand how women function. Particularly your wife, how to get to understand how this woman is. And when you do that, it will be easy for you to deal with her. Many times, actually, marriages are broken over something that is so small, something that could have been maybe taken care of. And when you go maybe for counseling, you discover that maybe this woman was just having a hormonal imbalance, was just having something that is so natural that made her to react the way she reacted. But if the husband would have understood how this woman, is, he would have known this is something that would just pass and everything would come back to normal. But many men don't want to understand how women work or how their biological formation is. And when you don't understand somebody, it becomes very difficult to live with this person. So I would say it is very important for a man, husbands, to understand their wives according to the way they function biologically and, everything about a woman. Get to understand, and that will help you to deal with your wife in a better way. You'll be able to accommodate her even when things are not working. For example, you might find that even when children come, what happens is that when the children come, the person who gets a bigger responsibility, mostly it's the women. A woman gets more responsibility. You can find that this woman is a working mother. This woman is supposed to take care of the family. This woman is supposed to take care of, maybe a baby there. And there is so much in this wife, in this woman. And sometimes, if you don't understand how this woman works and how things can be able to be handled, it becomes very difficult. You'll accept or you agree with me, there are very few marriages that break just when people get married. But when children start coming, when responsibilities start increasing, and you find that maybe the man wants to be treated the same way he was treated when he was alone, when there were no children. You find that the man demands so much and the woman is overwhelmed. She cannot handle it anymore. Sometimes even women break down when it comes to, the responsibilities, because this man does not understand that there is so much in this family now that is looking at the woman, that is, the woman is waiting to do, that, the woman is waiting to handle. And it reaches a point when the woman just breaks down, and by giving up, she she let go. She's like, I don't care anymore what happens. I don't care anymore whether he's happy or he's not happy. Because the children are crying here, the children needs to be fed there, the duty calls, she's supposed to be on duty, there is a lot of work on her desk, and when she comes back home, she needs to take care of this man, she needs to take care of these children, she needs to do all the house chores. She's also maybe a pastor like me, she has flock, people waiting to be ministered. It is so much. But when the man understands who the wife is and what she's supposed to handle and how much she can be able to handle, it becomes very easy for both of them. So it is very important for the man to understand the woman. In this case, I'm saying a husband, that is a unique responsibility. You're supposed to understand your wife. And there is nobody else who can understand this woman except the husband, because this is a mutual responsibility where the children are. But many times you find that the man would always go to work and he will not stop going to work because the children have come. Many times you find that even when it comes to children's duties and responsibilities, you find that the woman is left to do almost everything. Go to a school. All of us are children of at some point we were children. Our parents took us to school, and many times, even when it comes now to going to school to visit the children, or the teacher has called for a parent to go, very many times you find that men are not ready to leave their responsibility or to leave their jobs and go and attend to their children in school. They would always say, where mama enda, where inaonekana where hauna kazi nyingi, just go. Sometimes the woman has a lot of work, but because their children are a priority, they would rather attend to their children first, because that is a duty that God has given to them. So you find that this woman sometimes gets overwhelmed. It's very, very important for the man to understand the wife. And when he does that, it becomes very easy to handle her, because, sometimes you'll also understand that it's because of the job she has done, it's because of what she has been doing that has made her even to, sometimes just keep off. Sometimes she's not excited. There's nothing to excite her because the body gets tired and she needs to rest. So men are supposed to understand their wives. And another unique responsibility is that, as much as we talk about men understanding their wives according to knowledge, another thing that men are supposed to understand their wives is on their sexual responsiveness. They're supposed to know how their wives have been, they have been molded, and how much they can be able to handle, even when it comes to sex. Sometimes, men just imagine that a woman just can respond very fast, and they just get there and they're done, and it's like they don't care about their wives. Actually, men are supposed to satisfy their wives sexually. And if they don't do that, you will be living with a wife who is not a happy woman in the house. And so, because there's no any other place she can find that pleasure, she only looks to you. You become like a man, a woman becomes like an object to the man. She's not getting what she's supposed to get from the husband, but she's just there in that marriage. Maybe because they got children and they need to be taken care of. So, whenever the man does not understand the woman, it becomes very difficult for these two people to live together. Understand that you're the one who's supposed to satisfy your wife as a husband sexually, and be able to know how much she can be able to respond and when to do it. And, it's very important, by the way, because some of these are very important things that cause the marriage either to continue or even to break. Sex can break a marriage. And so if you don't understand how much your wife is able to respond, sometimes we wonder, sometimes when you look at some families, you find that some women even become unfaithful. Have you ever thought about what the reason why a woman can leave his family, his children, and become unfaithful? Some of these things is the understanding that men don't have. But when you understand your wife, you are able to take her pole pole. You are able to bring her pole pole and, handle her as a loving husband. And by, as you understand her, your marriage gets rooted, your marriage gets grounded, and you are able to, carry some of those burdens that she feels so overwhelmed with. Number three, another thing that men should do is husbands are supposed to praise their wives. You're supposed to just say something. It's very important to note how much this woman has worked, and be able to just, don't just assume that things have been happening. There's some men, they'll come home and find very many things have been done, and it's like nothing, Sometimes it is so much for women. They have really sacrificed. They have gone out of their way. They have done so much, and the woman does not even say, this is beautiful, this is good, I'm so happy, you have impressed me. A man just comes home and it's like nothing is happening. And the woman has worked herself, and the man doesn't seem to notice anything. It is very important, and every single human being needs to be praised. Every person needs to be, anybody, when you praise somebody, when you give somebody that, a pat on the back, when you tell somebody you have done so well, it gives that person motivation to want to do even better. So in the marriage is not exceptional. It's an institution. I started by saying that a marriage is an institution, and being an institution that it is, then it means that it has all the qualities of a working institution, where people are supposed to be appraised. They're supposed to be praised. They're supposed to be, to be acknowledged. It's only that in the family you cannot promote somebody. You know, you cannot promote that person per se and say, and today I'm giving you nakupea ngazi ingine. Lakini in the marriage, we keep promoting each other. You must promote your husband. You must promote your wife. You must tell her what you feel about what she has done so that she can be able to say, oh, kumbe my husband recognizes even my effort. There are some men who will never recognize the efforts of their wives. Actually, what they recognize is only when there's a problem. When something has not been done. Actually, there are some men, when they come home, they will not even look at what has been done. They will look at what has not been done. And they will start making noise and complaining. Why didn't you do this? What didn't you do? And all those that has been done, nobody sees. So this woman is like, whether I do it or I don't, the difference is the same. So what I'll do, I will stop doing it. So it is very important for a man to recognize and to acknowledge the effort of the woman by just praising. Just come with something. Kuja tu hata na biscuit. Kuja hata na chocolate. To come with something. Just, show a sign of appreciation. Women need to be praised, not by any other person, but their husbands. God bless you.